Welcome to Passion and Purpose, a space created to invite honest conversations around grief, trauma, and experiencing healing together as a community. My name is Dia Nyarko, and I am the co-founder and executive director of JLD Community Solutions. I am joined by two people I highly respect and admire, and we're excited to share this journey of healing with you. Please welcome to the stage Ms. Laurencia Bethay and Mr. Al Thomas. Hi, you guys.
Hi, and thank you for such a warm welcome.
Absolutely. How are y'all doing today?
Wonderful, wonderful, ecstatic.
Good.
Well, hey, I figure I would take a moment and let you introduce yourselves to the audience, let them know who you are. So, Ren, would you like for me to start with you?
Sure. So my name is Ren. I am an intuitive soul guide, co-founder of Gaia Light Essentials. Excited to be here alongside Dia and Mr. Al.
Awesome. Mr. Al, you're up.
So I'm Al Thomas. I'm a neuro-linguistic programmer and also a wellness coach. So my goal is to assist others in choosing healthy alternatives besides giving up.
That is awesome. And I'm so grateful because I have had the opportunity to know Mr. Al and Ren. Well, I've known Ren many years, but we reconnected over the years after experiencing similar situations in losing our brothers to gun violence. And Ren also has just a whole amazing story of her own. And Mr. Al, I was so grateful to have met at a NAMI event during mental health awareness. And then he participated in one of our gun violence awareness events. And now he is the amazing facilitator for our support group where we offer support to families and community members who have lost loved ones to gun violence. And so I'm grateful to the both of you. I've said it many times, but I want to say it again. Thank y'all for coming along this journey. And I'm excited about our relationship and what we have the potential to accomplish together. So thank you. All right. So this conversation today is around repurposing. And as we had discussed, Mr. Al, like I said, he is the facilitator of our support group circle. And during one of our meetings, he had talked about creating your personal support group. And he used the analogy of a boxer and how you have your trainer, you have your medic, and you have your cut man. And through that conversation and through hearing that, it inspired me so much. And so we just figured that it would be fitting now that it's the beginning of the year and many people are looking for ways to make themselves better, have a better year, repurpose themselves, repurpose this year. And so we wanted to talk about that today. So, Mr. Al, Ren, I've got a few questions here. I'm going to ask the question and then I'm just going to let y'all take it away. How about that?
Sounds
Okay,
good.
sounds
All
good.
right. Okay, so the first question is when you think about the new year and the idea of repurposing yourself, what does that mean to you personally right now?
So, for me personally, repurposing myself in this moment, it feels like becoming something. It feels less like becoming someone new and more like reclaiming what has already been true. It means honoring the wisdom that I've earned through lived experiences, releasing roles that were built from survival rather than alignment, and just allowing my energy to be used intentionally instead of via obligation. So instead of like having to show up because of, okay, this is what society expects, it's like actually saying, nope, I'm going to intentionally choose who I allow, my energy to be around. So it's not about becoming someone new. It's actually remembering like who I truly am.
That speaks to me so much. Recently, I did an exercise where I asked AI. The strangest thing, but I saw someone on the internet suggest this, and I tried it to ask it based off of what it knows about me, because I've used Chat GPT for a lot of things. And I was like, based off of what you know about me, tell me something unique about myself. One of the things that it brought out to me so much was how much I have discounted myself. And it said that humility is not self discounting. When you are discounting yourself, that is not humility.
Right.
And so I had to think about that thing and realize, girl, stop discounting yourself. That is not true humility. Stand firm in who you are and know that, and then choose to drop these things that you will no longer carry and hold on to and do the things that you know is a part of your purpose and you need to carry. So, what you just said was powerful. Love it.
Gratitude. And that's something that I hope, to be able to share with our community,
Yes.
and to reach the masses by just helping people be guided back to your most truth and authentic self.
Yeah. Two things come to mind. One is having a personal responsibility and respecting where I'm at, as well as gaining the resources and the supporters to know where I'm going. So
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
those things for me, as I go on the journey, it's clear to me to be very specific in knowing what you want, and then you'll attract the individuals, the mentors, the resources that you need and where you're going. And so I learned to be very specific and
Mm-hmm.
redeveloping myself and repurposing myself to know like where I'm going. Because if I ask a person or to information or directions, they had to at least know or have been there themselves in order to help me out along the way.
And Mr. Al, I want to ask something, because when you said, knowing where I'm going, to then help me know knowing where I'm going, help to attract, what I need, the resources that I need, and things of that nature. And I'm just interested of hearing your thoughts for those people who might hear what you just said and they're like, well, heck, I don't know where I'm going right now. What's some kind of suggestion or advice you might give to them as they're along their journey, even discovering which direction they're going in?
And that's, we can look at it like sometimes situational circumstances change our views. Sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
have a view, and it may not be a clear view, but we have some aspect to what we would like to do because we gain that information about something we was either told or showed, and so we really just trying to figure out life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how the brain works is it loves familiarity. So a lot of times, literally, our purpose is right up under our nose. So you spoke about something, putting this together, turning pain into passion, and those things for me, like whatever you're more familiar with, you're more comfortable or equipped with. So really, what we're looking for is we may have seen someone else succeed as far as maybe they was an accountant, maybe they took up cement mason and they done great, and maybe we know them and we said, well, maybe I can be great at doing that, but not necessarily fulfilled in knowing what is my purpose. And a
Mhm.
lot of times we have been in training the entire time
Mm.
building and working on our purpose. But when
Mm-hmm.
we see these adversities in life, we want to get as far away from those adversities as possible. In actuality, those adversities add those trainings and to where we're going. So a lot of times I think we're confused by what we go through.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, two things. We either have we're going towards the direction of what we consider is pleasure, and we're going away from the
Mm-hmm.
direction where we think is pain.
Mm.
But a lot of the toolets and a lot of things that we need to acquire is in the pain
Wow.
and not in what we consider pleasure.
Wow. Wow.
Direction often becomes clear when we stop running from discomfort. Our purpose is usually closer than we think, shaped by what we've lived, learned, and endured. While it's tempting to chase what looks successful or pleasurable, true growth and calling are often forged through adversity. The very pain we try to avoid may be the training ground for where we're meant to be.
So we just talked about repurposing ourselves and even the idea of gaining direction in terms of our purpose and things of that nature. And a huge part of that journey is experiencing healing from the various traumas and things we've experienced in life. How do you know where you currently are in your life or healing journey? How do you identify where you are in life or your healing journey?
Okay, I can share. So I know where I am personally in my life and where I am on my healing journey about how I respond to things rather than reacting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like in my past, and I've been using this term lately, the unhealed trauma filled me was easy to react to something. But now I actually listen to my body and I honor my boundaries that I've set, because on this healing journey, I've gained growth by setting boundaries. Um, I can use even yesterday as an example. Like I allow rest without guilt because I had gotten
Mm-hmm.
into the hustle and bustle of life where it was like I just had to keep going, keep going. But I was kind of neglecting my own self. But on this healing journey, it's like, no, rest is okay. So yesterday, I had the intention of going to Spencer to see the monks. I had a family member that wanted me to come and support them at an event. But when I woke up, my body was like, if you do it, I'm gonna collapse you at the knees. So I was like, all right, hot tea and back to bed it is. And I got a phone call and it was like, well, why didn't you come to this? And my simple response was because I honored my body's request for rest. And so another way where I know how I know where I am on my journey is presence has become my compass as opposed to living in the past and dwelling on the past, living in the present moment. I'm not chasing the outcomes of what the future may be. I'm being present in this moment.
I want to veggie back off of what she just said. And here is when I look at healing, I believe healing is to restore from one's health to wholeness or to get back to a space. And what Ren spoke on about being present, I'm present in the acceptance area. And I'm all right. One of the great poets, Jill Scott Heron, said that we are pieces of a man. And what I
Mm-hmm.
realized, come to realize, is that I still have open wounds in some areas. I'm not healed in all areas, but I
Mhm.
can draw strength from the areas that I have healed
Mm-hmm.
in.
That's
And that's okay
good.
for me. I
Yeah.
don't need to be, and maybe I don't need to be it's being a victim of a reoccurring gunshots. Uh I don't have to I carry maybe some sense of guilt. And they call this hero's guilt because all the other guys, I've been shot multiple times, and all other guys that I have lost that was close to me, maybe been injured one time, and it was the end, so to speak, for them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some guys may have taken in some drugs And when I have done maybe countless amounts what they have done, and yet they OD and they're no longer with us. So I
Mhm.
used to carry this burden of hero's guilt, and maybe asking like, why am I still here? And I came to the conclusion that because I'm here, I need to start understanding like why I'm here, not that guilt. But then I realized it's a level of guilt that keeps me humble. So I'm
Mm.
okay not being healed in some areas, because even those areas help bring me to a point of what
Wow.
I'm working on, the things I inspired to do, and having the empathy for others. So I just learned to really accept the areas that I'm healed in, and I do this by self-examination, and the areas that I'm not healed in, it's okay. And if I need to get around and do more work in those areas, then I just simply do so. But yeah, so presence for me will be a big part of respecting where I'm at.
Mhm.
You know where you are in your healing journey by how you respond to life, not by whether everything is fixed. Healing shows up in honoring your body, setting boundaries, allowing rest without guilt, and choosing presence over reliving the past or chasing the future. It's also accepting that healing isn't all or nothing. You can be healed in some areas and still tender in others. Those unhealed places don't disqualify you. They can deepen humility, empathy, and purpose. Presence and self-examination become the compass that helps you respect where you are and do the work when you're ready.
So going back, Mr. Al, to that exercise, or the idea of building our personal support group, the trainer, the medic, the cut man. Where do you see yourself most often showing up in other people's lives? So where do you most see yourself showing up?
I'm the cut man, definitely, and I want to explain this concept to our audience. So the trainer is I explain this like a boxing analogy, and life is this boxing ring, and in it you have of course the two fighters. In this case, maybe it's you fighting you, and the referee is here to make sure that you have a fair fight. But in if you can trace that ring, you also have corner men. And I always inspire others. You need at least three people or three supporters in your life. In this case, we can take the trainer, somebody like myself, a wellness coach with lived experiences, been there, done that. I know how to dodge a jab because I've been hit with a jab. And then you have the medic with the white towel, and that's the individual that knows when you're having too much. You got too much going on. They know the limitations in your life because you allowed them in at some point, and they want to wave the flag, so to speak, to say, "Hey, that's you taking on too much." This usually like a caregiver. Then you have the third person, which is the cut man, and this is how I identify myself. No matter how beat up or banged up that individual is, one still believes, the cut man still believes that you can win the fight. And so I'm definitely identified as the cut man because I have seen others go through countless amounts of adversity and still come out on top. On top. I'm always rooting for the underdog because I find hope in these situations. And sometimes when the individual believe that what they went through is uncomparable with someone else, and you can be relatable to the individual, it gives them their hope. So I know I took the long route around, but I definitely can identify as being the cut man.
And I love Mr. Al's perspectives. So with that, I would have to say I most often show up as a medic blended trainer. Being the medic, being an intuitive soul guide, I do shamanic, Reiki, energy healing. So being this person, I say medic because I'm often finding myself tending to wounds like the medic. When people are going through different life experiences, they come to see me. And I'm able to help them translate emotions and help others find their footing, like when things feel chaotic and unclear. And then, Mr. Al mentioned being a caregiver. That's basically what I'm doing. Like, you're literally laying on my table and you're getting it out. And I'm like, okay, all right, all right. But and holding space for truth to surface and helping others to see it through a different perspective. So that's the medic side. But then the trainer, like Mr. Al mentioned before, that's kind of like the been there, done that type person, where I also feel like a lot of people who land on my table for sessions, I have experienced something very similar. So it's like, okay, I can help to be a guiding light to help others navigate through what it is that they're going through. So that I feel like I show up as the medic trainer blended. The role wasn't chosen as much as it was revealed, because as Mr. Al mentioned prior, a lot of, finding your purpose is those experiences, those things that you've already experienced. So it was right under your nose. So I feel like life placed me in situations that required me to become steady. It required me to become perceptive and compassionate long before I even knew, like long before I even had a verbiage for what it was that I was experiencing. So over time, like what was once instinct, like me reacting out of instinct, has now become intentional. It's like, oh, okay, so that's why I was able to experience that. And that takes me to the point where, again, a lot of what comes out of here is different perspectives. I'm not saying this didn't happen to me. This happened for me. This happened for me to be able to, see things through a different perspective. So now I choose like how and when like I step into things, if that makes sense.